lost the voice within, how can they know which way your wind blows? Look inside of you for the truth, the voice inside of you.
Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Eternity are always deep inside you. That freedom of expression is yours to choose or hide. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Oh, love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my decision.
Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful day it is at the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Jay Lang, and I want to welcome all of you today. Such a blessing it is to have a community here today. And I want to also open us up in song like we always do. And Astra's here. Let's welcome Astra.
Good morning. Won't you join me in singing, I Am Opening? I am opening to the love of Spirit. I am opening to the love of God. Just like that again. I am opening to the love of Spirit. I am opening to the love of God. I
right. Thank you, Astra. Way to get us going this morning. And here it is, St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patrick's to everybody. This is the center where we include everybody, even people who don't wear green today, that we don't punish anybody. We celebrate everybody, no matter what. I do have one of my favorite things to do about St. Patrick's Day is the many blessings that there are called Irish blessings. And what I think of a blessing is the acknowledgement, recognizing God and not thinking that someone outside of us is blessing us, but just recognizing the God that's in all of us at all times. And so one of my favorite blessings goes like this. May you always have a sunbeam to warm you, good luck to charm you, a sheltering angel so nothing can harm you, laughter to cheer you, faithful friends near you, and whenever you pray, heaven to hear you. There are several of these, and they're fun to give to each other, whether you greet somebody or you're bidding them goodbye. Blessings and just knowing that God goes with them, God is in them and around them. So we bless you today. Today is a blessing, and we celebrate that today. So let's begin our service with our vision and mission statement. Welcome all those who are online. You can join us too by looking at your screen and saying with us, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. What a great affirmation for our community. I've been thinking about 2 weeks ago, we filled out little index cards about things that we're affirming that we experienced here when we're here on Sundays or Wednesdays or events or whenever we're here. And I made out of the words you wrote on those cards a word cloud that has these different, and the bigger the word is, that means the more times somebody said it. So community, connection, love, acceptance, joy, peace, belonging, and understanding are obviously mentioned by a lot of people, but there's a lot of other important words in there that people experience. And what our vision is continue and even expand your experience of community and connections and love and joy and peace here. And I also think about as our center as being like we had the metaphor for the lantern during February month about being a beacon for all to come this way, that there's a freedom and liberty here that was a sign of the Underground Railroad during before the Civil War when people were runaway slaves and that they found freedom. But also I think of this as a lighthouse that's a beacon of that we send light out and love to people, and they come because they sense our light. And so I continue to want to hold that metaphor, that idea that we are a lighthouse beaming out in all directions. But really what's beaming out is not a building, it's our community itself, the people that are here. Like I did last week, I don't know if you remember, but you probably did this as a kid, like here's the church, here's the steeple, open it up, and here's all the people, right? And it's the people that matter here. So thank you for being a part of this community. We're continuing to celebrate Women's History Month. And today, as part of that, Laura Keller is our practitioner today for reflection. She's going to do an extended time talking about Rian Eisler. I wasn't sure how to say her first name, but her writings about a new way of power based on love, pleasure, and joy rather than suppression and violence, yeah, basically, and pain. So it's a new way, and she's going to have an extended time to talk about that. So we're going to enjoy that, or I don't know if enjoy is the right word. We'll gain meaning out of it. How about that? And then we have the Sip and Savor coming up on May 4th. But the fun thing I want to announce to you today that we had we took your nominations. We had 11 nominations for the Compassionate Heart Awards. They were the best group of people we had to select. Was the good news. The bad news was we had to select only 3 candidates. And we had several people who were community activists, people who worked with undocumented residents, homeless population, bilingual, online resources, rallies for Ukraine, artists, Board of Education, mental health, work with youth. Our own Julie Nord was nominated, the way she spreads light in this community. All well deserving. When I looked at the list, I go, we could award this to any of these people and been happy to do that. However, we did have to choose. So we did choose our top 3 candidates with an extra one I'll tell you about in a minute. So this is the Compassionate Heart Award. So these are the people. First, from your left to right, are Corey Edwards, who does social media emergency information on Facebook, has been vital to people who have been needing information about earthquakes and fires and accidents. And he's been critical in doing that. And he does that on an all-volunteer basis. Denise Buell and Jim Warnock, who started the Napa County Suicide Prevention Council and done so much work with prevention of suicide in many ways with trainings and support groups. And Celicia Aguilar, who is the program director for the LGBTQ Connection program here in Napa. And then we couldn't settle for 3, but there was also somebody in our community who was above and beyond just an annual award. And that's because he's had a lifetime of doing good work that started when he was an educator. So many people, kids, as adults now, credit him for turning their life around, for giving them purpose and a pause to realize they could make a difference in the world. They could do something with their lives. And since he's retired, he's only gone to volunteer for practically every nonprofit in the Valley. And he just continues to give to our community, time and time again. So this year we are going to award him a Compassionate Heart Award, but a Lifetime Achievement, Harris Nosboom. Yeah. He's a great dancer too. That's right. I haven't experienced that, but I understand that. I don't know. I should be able to dance with him too, right? But anyway, we're also continuing to prepare for the auctions that are there that are going to be on that May 4th. And so we're encouraging you to donate items to the auction. There's forms out at the welcome table. We've had people give gift baskets, gift cards from restaurants, art, many different kinds of things. So consider what you might be able to donate. Some people are collecting things like a gift basket, like they buy a basket and they get different things to put in there and then put a cellophane wrap around it. So things like that are always good. Wine is always good. So we appreciate your donations. And also next week, starting on Wednesday, we'll have them, but next Sunday, we're also going to have forms that you can take to businesses, either that you work for, wineries and different things. And it's going to be a complete package. And part of that is not only the form, but our flyer for our program. And it's going to include some information about what Sip and Savor benefits. It is a fundraiser and what it benefits. It'll include things like on our website currently. It talks about our compassionate action. It has pictures of different things that we're doing, different nonprofits we're collaborating with. So all that'll be on the packet that you can hand to a business and say, are you willing to donate a gift certificate, a tasting, or wine, or whatever that they could offer you. So we'll be prepared for that next week. And one that we've just added, if I could ask Sean to come up here, please. So all of us were so impressed by Sean's trip to Uganda and the benefit of the East African Education Initiative. And when he spoke here a couple months ago, it's kind of tied in there. He talked about the ways that we can participate. And to tell you the truth, he was overwhelmed because he didn't realize so many people were willing to, what happened here? To be a part of this. And so we're relaunching this idea, and we need to have forms around it so it's more organized. And so, Sean, go ahead and tell what is this money going to be used for exactly?
Well, there's two things. There's a general donation for school supplies for any student that happens to need school supplies, but there's also individual sponsorships for kindergarten and first grade age children, and also I had to recenter.
So to speak. It's always good to recenter.
Yeah. And then also for secondary school students that are studying in a school about 2.5 hours drive west of Kampala, corner of the country of Uganda, doing great works with a new school that we helped build with another organization out of Denver. So, in the interest of uniformity and getting more serious about it, we have these forms that we have for everyone who's interested. Even if you've already contributed, please fill out a form in the interest of uniformity and organization.
And tax write-offs.
And tax write-offs. So
Yeah.
we're working through the center. The center has joined us to help us with the tax exemptions or tax deductions. So please fill out a form, even if you already contributed, so that we have a good record. And I just am overwhelmed with gratitude. Thank you for helping me with my trip last year. And thank you for the overwhelming interest in our children.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And then, Sean, before you go, so how do they know how much it's going to be?
Great. So for a primary school student, it's $135
Per year?
a year.
Okay.
A year, not a month, a year.
What a
And-
deal. Our money, our American dollars go really far in other countries, so.
One of our dollars is 3,850 of their shillings. So that's the conversion rate as of now.
The secondary price?
Oh, I'm sorry. For secondary school students, $400 a year.
$400 a year.
Yeah.
And is the secondary school started, or it's just starting?
It's already started, so there's students that are in need now. Most students have some support, but other students are there just because of the graces of the school, because they don't have the tuition. So there are students that are poorer than others that need some support from you guys or anyone who's interested in supporting them.
Great, great. Okay, thank you so much, Sean.
Thank
Let's
you.
give him a round of applause.
Where are these forms?
Okay, set those out at the guest table, or there's some already out there, but when you go out there afterwards, you can put some more out there. Does anybody need them right now? You can just raise your hand. Anybody need them?
I have like 5 copies though.
Okay, well, just raise your hand. We'll get some passed out. So I'm going to continue on announcements while he's passing those out. So this Tuesday, we have the spring equinox celebration at 7 o'clock. And the actual spring equinox is on that night at like 8:06. So while we're in here, actually, we're going to try and be outside if it's light enough. It will happen during our celebration, so it'll be fun. It'll be some song. Michael Coleman's going to bring his guitar, and Virginia's going to do some singing, and so it'll be a fun celebration to do. Tuesday at 7 o'clock right here. And then Pro Inclusion Napa, the next meeting that is promoting acceptance and respect for all people here in Napa, will be at the Napa Methodist Church on the 20th. That's all in your little stuff your little card that you got when you came in. If you didn't get one of those cards, you can get one on the way out. And then also all the information about our Easter week events, which is in 2 weeks, is on there too. We have on Thursday the 28th, we have a metaphysical communion, which is taking ancient wisdom, the ancient way of breaking bread in a new context than you might have had when you were growing up in a Protestant or Catholic church. So it's a celebration of life there. Contemplative Labyrinth Walk, which will be outside in our courtyard if it's not raining. I don't think it will be. And March 31st, our actual Easter service, and theme of that is opening our hearts. And all that is on your cards there. And then April 7th, the Spanish-speaking ministry is going to have a pancake breakfast where we won't have any other kind of snacks that day. We'll just do the pancake breakfast. Everybody's invited. We encourage people to donate money, but that's optional. Mainly, we want you just to have a community brunch together and sit down and eat together. But it's a fundraising for their ministry. And then also new classes are starting, both Spanish speaking, and my class will be, the Spanish speaking is starting in late March. Mine will be starting mid-April. More information to come. Meditations on Wednesday, and any other information is available on the website or those cards you have with you. So please join us for all of these events and so much more. Make sure you've got your calendar marked for May 4th. And now we'll begin the sacred part of our service. Oh, that's
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
So if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes or soften your gaze. And just become aware of your breathing and know that you are breathed in by Spirit. It breathes you. It makes your heart beat. It is that infinite source of unconditional love and creativity and intelligence we call God, Goddess, all that there is. That energy is the sun rising, the breeze, the buds coming forth in this almost spring day. It's the beauty and love we all share together. So just giving thanks for this beautiful day, for all the words spoken, the songs sung, and our time here together. We just give thanks for this. We let this be, and so it is. So I'm really honored that Reverend Jay asked me to talk about our book group and the book we're reading, which is called Sacred Pleasure by Riane Eisler. It's a brilliant, incredible, dense book, and it's painful. And sometimes it's necessary for us to confront our pain and our history so that we can continue to grow and evolve. And it's also important during Women's History Month, when we're celebrating the accomplishments and contributions of women and the divine feminine in the world. So the book explores the history of women from prehistory to present and the consequences of subordinating and dominating half of humanity, women, for centuries, and the damage this has done for everyone and to the world. And the domination and subordination of women is the first evil, and all the others follow, subordinating other people, people of color, indigenous people, children, the earth, animals, all of it. So I believe we're in a process of the reemergence of the divine feminine. It's like waking up out of a trance from many centuries, and it realigns us with our evolution of higher consciousness, of love, of our incredible capacity for creativity, human caring, and prosperity, rather than destructiveness and cruelty. So Riane Eisler says there's two levers of human motivation, pain and pleasure, and that humans evolved over two pathways. One was a partnership way of social organization, and the other was domination way of social organization. So how did we get there? What's the history of the feminine? So if you go way back to Neolithic and Paleolithic times, and you look at archaeology and art, our history is tens of thousands of years of peacefulness, of partnership societies and organization, of nomadic forager groups who then founded agriculture. And these were goddess-worshiping cultures, the creative female power of the entire universe, which was the life-sustaining mother who nurtures life through cycles of birth, death, rebirth, and regeneration of nature. The womb and the vulva are sacred, and they're the sacred portal of life. Everything in life is sacred and spiritual. There's no separation from the divine. And the sexual union of female and male is a form of sacrament. The sacred marriage between the goddess and the god, the body, pleasure, love, and the gift of life are holy. And the goddess, her consort and partner, is the male bull god, and he has horns and a double axe. That's important for later. So if you look at excavations of that time, they're peaceful societies. The feminine is venerated everywhere. There's egalitarian social structure. There's no extreme difference or disparities between housing, burial sites, and temples. Women and men are equal. Violence and cruelty are not idealized or institutionalized. Sexuality is not repressed. And spiritual development, sexual pleasure, and love are intertwined at the core of human development. So what happened to us? So research, what we think is there was a prehistoric shift from partnership to dominator organization and cultures. And research shows that it was linked to severe climate events and harsh environmental conditions that correlate with the increase in a dominator organization. This is during times of scarcity, hierarchy based on fear and force, and evolve for competition around scarce resources and rule by force. So there was famine and severe malnutrition and drought, land abandonment, mass migration, and physical and psychological trauma. This is happening over centuries. So what happens is that you get cultural patterns of pain and suffering become institutionalized, worship of harsh and punitive gods, war, and conquest and death, control and distortion of female sexuality, violence against women, and severe child rearing. So how do you instill and then perpetuate a dominator type system? You have to have a really long-term strategy. First of all, the female body, which is a symbol of sexual and spiritual power, becomes an object under control of men, including offspring. They become slaves and possessions. Men have power to hurt and exercise control over other people's bodies. Elite men have absolute power of life and death, and they use a warrior class for their power struggles. The warrior class is tough and armored and masculine. They also have psychological and emotional numbing, and that's the idealized man. They offer their bodies as sacrifice in war, and they're given the bodies of women as reward. You have to vilify sex and women. They become sinful, carnal, inferior, manipulative. They're responsible for original sin and getting kicked out of the Garden of Eden. And then you have to eroticize domination and violence, such things as rape, honor killing, sex trafficking, pornography. You also have to maintain that structure through threat and fear of violence and inflicting violence. The Inquisition, burning women at the stake. And you also have to distort all the old ancient myths and rites that are sacred. So the sacred marriage between God and goddess becomes the sacred marriage between God and his son and God and the church. And we take women out of that equation, and we also make them asexual, like the Virgin Mary. The bull god becomes the horned devil with a pitchfork, and he consorts with witches. The snake goddess becomes Medusa. The bull god also becomes the evil Minotaur. Then you make pain and religious asceticism and martyrdom sacred, denial of the body, so you can accustom the body and people to being dominated and submissive. And then, if you sin with all that, you get to burn in eternal hell. Your flesh gets to burn. You also instill harsh and stressful parenting and child rearing, so children are indoctrinated to either control, be controlled, or controlled others. And you do this so that people either identify with the strong group or make scapegoats out of other people. So your survival depends on obeying and being obedient. And then you instill values. Males are dominant, violent, and superior, and women are caring, nonviolent, nurturing, and inferior. And we know from neurobiology, when you have that kind of stress of perpetual fear, flight, or frozen, it inhibits your capacity for empathy, mutuality, and caring. So what's the truth of our being? What's the truth of our evolution? Love, well-being, and pleasure is part of our human biology. Our neurobiology, again, tells us that the release of neurochemicals in our brain give us an experience of pleasure. It's a reward for caregiving. Love is a motivational drive for humans. So when a mother interacts with her infant, the pleasure center in her brain lights up, and the pleasure center in the baby's brain lights up. And so impulses for empathy, helpfulness, nurturing, mutuality, love are intrinsically rewarded in our brain. So the evolution of love is integral to brain development. Our bigger brains evolved because of love. We have lots of neurons because of love. We have a cerebral cortex because of love. And this love and care and empathy helps us develop our full capacity for love, consciousness, creativity, morality, self-awareness, and self-actualization. It's necessary for human survival. We know if children are not loved, if they're neglected, if there's abuse, that it disrupts their brain development, and they have decreased impulse regulation. Their brains are smaller in size. Their cognitive skills are less, and often they are failure to thrive or they even die. So we need to change and heal our evolutionary narrative, which is embedded in centuries of religion and science based on patriarchy and domination. Academia often argues that more complex, technologically advanced, culturally advanced, artistically advanced civilizations need domination. It's not true. Domination causes harm and annihilates the human spirit. So concepts of survival of the fittest, competition, violence, war, selfish genes are not inevitable. So I'll just give you a few examples. And they never told you this in school. So the first tools were created by men for hunting and for war and killing. No, actually the first tools were created by women to gather food and feed and nurture infants and children and to share food with others. The first social bonds came from men to communicate during hunting. Actually, the first social bonds came from women between mothers and infants based on caring and nurturing of young who had a long developmental period of vulnerability. The development of language is attributed to men to communicate during hunting. Actually, the complex communication of mothers with babies and children, again, through this extended period of caregiving, so they could teach and instruct. Also to communicate with men from increased interactions because human females can have sex all year long. They just don't go into heat at certain times of the year. And to also involve men in child rearing, so they participate. So empathy, caring, love, and the drive for peaceful relations are human evolutionary developments. So human evolution is compatible with partnership. It's the foundation of democracy. It's the foundation of our spirituality. Jesus, after all, was teaching a partnership and love model and way of being in the world. So these spiritual values of partnership align with sacredness and connectivity of all life, creativity, care and empathy, inclusion, equity, and peace. Now, certainly the world is a mixture of domination and partnership social organizations. Some countries more extreme in domination, some more in partnership. And our country is sort of a mixture of both. But I think it's important and critical in this moment in history to understand. And I know this brings up a lot of emotions of sadness and also anger. We certainly feel that a lot in our book club. But we have to remember there's a dominator playbook at work right now in authoritarian politics, in threats to democracy, in religious fundamentalism, and the denial of reproductive rights, to name a few. And at its core, and they don't say this on the news, this is control over the power and sexuality of the life-sustaining divine feminine. So I urge everyone to read the book. It's brilliant and wonderful, so we can understand our history, so we can heal our pain, so we can continue to create partnership for a world that works for everyone, heaven on earth. And please vote.
Thank you for that. This is Casper.
Today at my school in world history, teacher popped a quiz. He said, this is easy. Just name the 7 wonders of the world for me. So this is what we wrote. The pyramids of Egypt, the Taj Mahal, the Panama Canal, China's Great Wall, world famous landmarks, we counted them all. Yes, they got every vote. Then I noticed the shy boy who sits next to me hadn't turned in his list, it was plain to see. Teacher asked him what the trouble might be, and this is what he said. There's so many answers, I don't know what to say. Teacher said, maybe we can help find a way. Just read us your list. The boy hesitated, then this is what he read. To touch, to see, to taste and to feel, to laugh and to hear, to love while we're here. Oh, these are such wonders, wonderful
Wonders, 7 wonders of the world.
to touch,
To see,
to taste,
to taste, and to feel,
to laugh
and to hear,
to
to love
while we're here.
while we're here. These are such wonders, wonderful wonders, 7 wonders of the world.
Well, you could have heard a pin drop in that room. Nobody spoke, nobody moved, till someone asked the boy to say it once more through. So he spoke again. To touch,
To touch,
to see,
to see,
to taste,
to taste, and to feel,
to laugh
to laugh
and to hear,
and to hear,
to love.
to love. Now we're here. These are such wonders, wonderful wonders, 7 wonders of the world.
It's a gentle reminder from a gentle soul. We take for granted gifts worth more than gold, and the richest treasures in life's plan cannot be built by our own hands. To touch,
To see, to taste, and to feel, to laugh and to hear, to love. Now we're here. These are such wonders, wonderful wonders, 7 wonders of the world.
7 wonders of
The world.
That was pretty amazing, Casper. Oh, and Astra, you were good too, I guess. Wow. First of all, Laura, thank you. That was beautiful. Every time you're up here, I learn, but today especially. So thank you. And thank you, Astra and Casper. That was wonderful. It was beautiful. I don't know if I have anything left to say. I think we've all been to church already. You know, Casper, a lot of famous musicians got their start in churches, singing in churches. So, yeah. So it's good to be here. It is good to continue with this theme that we're having about the wisdom of the heart. I've just really been enjoying this series. And at the same time, we're having this class on the empowered empath, which is paralleling this whole discussion about the wisdom of the heart. In fact, this last week I pulled several things from the class and that I'm bringing to the talk today, because it was a wonderful class and a wonderful group of people as we learn. But this idea of a spiritual warrior that I want to talk about, the warrior path of the heart. Often we think of a warrior as someone who is aggressive and violent and forceful in what they're doing, but a spiritual warrior is very different. They're actually a blend of yes, being powerful, yes, being clear and truthful and speaking the truth to power, but they don't do it in a violent way. They do it in a way of the heart, a way of listening and inclusive, that everybody's included. The traditional warrior is one who would, move things out of the way and not worry about people getting hurt. But a spiritual warrior is one that is including community and listening and to their intuition and their feelings and their what is emerging in the moment, not that the path is not always clearly marked. And it's needless to say, not defined by gender or orientation or gender identification or culture or race or anything else. It's defined by our willingness to allow Spirit to lead us, and allow the heart, coherence of the heart, as it's called, that we've been talking about, a oneness that is. And this coherence of the heart and mind is a oneness, is a unity we've been talking about. It's a core belief of Centers for Spiritual Living and unity. It really what differs sets us differently from other Protestant and Catholic church, because we believe that all faiths are valid ways and that we're all connected to Spirit, that Spirit's within us and all around us, and that by listening to Spirit, it can guide us. And this is the way of the spiritual warrior, and it's the way of coherence of this oneness. What's wonderful about, although these beliefs are really ancient, recently researchers have been able to prove this unity and oneness through scientific experiments. So they've proved what we've known intuitively. Quantum physics have something they called quantum entanglement, where two particles that are are joined. If they separate them, when something happens to one of them, it happens to the other one, even though they're no longer entangled. They've also did an experiment that I just heard about this one recently. A willing participant, I think that's always good in one of these studies. A willing participant, they took DNA, they took some blood out of this person and put this DNA in a room next door and in a place 50 miles away. And when positive stimulus was given to this person, it affected the DNA in the next room and the DNA 50 miles away instantaneously. So it wasn't, what I draw from, the researchers drew from it, is that when things are connected, they continue to stay connected when they're part of that. So when we actively know our oneness, and what we know the truth is, this whole idea of quantum entanglement, is that we talk about two particles, but in fact, we are all connected in every way. And so we only have to just in our mind, in our energy, in our spiritual awareness, know that we are all one, because we are. It's not something we have to make up. It's already there, but we become aware of this oneness. We call in this oneness, and that's the first two steps of our affirmative prayer, that we recognize that God is all there is and that we are one with all that is. And in this connection, what we know for ourselves, we can know for other people in prayer. We can know a peace within ourselves, and we can know peace for other people. Now, take something like the Middle East. It's going to take a lot more, because there's a lot of energy around revenge and patterns of old times. But I tell you what, let's keep praying. Let's don't stop thinking that it's not going to make a difference, because if enough people know it, There are some shifts already happening. This is the time we need to continue to know it, to know the unity of us and all people in the world, the people in the Mideast and in Gaza, in Israel, in Ukraine, in Russia, and when we know peace, that peace, and it doesn't have to, you don't send peace anywhere. It's instantaneous. It just is. It's just known in that very minute, just like these quantum physicists have found with this entanglement. The only problem I have with the word quantum entanglement is that sometimes for me to get to that place of oneness, that place of unity, I have to untangle a lot of myself. If you know what I mean, like sometimes I feel like I am tangled up. And I have to untangle my brain, the things that are attached, the things that I hold on to, the things that are distractions in that way. So today I wanted to walk through this idea of to de-entangle so we can become entangled, to untangle so we can know our oneness. And the first of these is to notice and accept. Simply to notice any cloudiness we have in our mind, in our heart, and let go of it. Just notice it, accept it what it is. Notice that you are distracted by things, or you've got judgments, or your wandering mind is not focused. Just bring it back to focus. What we know is that when we are able to declutter our minds, just like we declutter our houses, we notice there's a messiness. We notice that there's something out of order. We bring it back into order. We do the same things with our mind, and we come to this clarity and this inner peace. Just to declutter extra thoughts about somebody or something that we just don't need to entertain that thought. We don't need to be a part of that, and just choose this clarity to do. And then we go to a place of there. It's just, I think the batteries are low, so it's not responding there. Of just gratitude. Just appreciate. Even when we're in the middle of an entanglement, so to speak, not the oneness kind of entanglement, but this entanglement of our mind, then we just go to gratitude. And even if things are complicated and messy, we let all that silt settle into the pond, and we find that which can be grateful. This week, somebody brought a poem to our class the other day, and I just thought it was an amazing poem. It's by L.R. Nost, and I think it has a lot to do with gratitude. Let me read it to you. Life is amazing, and then it's awful, and then it's amazing again. And in between the amazing and awful, it's ordinary and mundane and routine. Can you relate to that? Breathe in the amazing, hold on through the awful, and relax and exhale during the ordinary. That's just living. Heartbreaking, soul healing, amazing, awful, ordinary life. And it's breathtakingly beautiful. So even when our lives are tangled and messy, just breathe. And know that there's good in that. There's something to be grateful for. Even if it's just knowing that the Spirit in you is healing, is peace within you, is allowing you just to be present with what is, that we accept it. And know that all is good, even when it doesn't seem like it is good. And the final thing is, it might be a funny thing, might seem not to fit with this, but it's to draw your sword. So Jesus was an interesting person. I would call him a spiritual warrior. He had a mixture of the divine feminine and divine masculine energies. When he prayed, in his Aramaic, he talked about, the word was abwan, So Abwan was in the Lord's Prayer, and it translates to mother, father, creator. So both the male and female aspects that he knew. And he generated this. But he also said, one of his quotes, and we don't know how much he really said. There's a controversy about that. But he's quoted as saying in the Bible, people think I came here to bring peace. I did not come to bring peace. I came here for us to draw our swords. To draw my sword. Now, he was not a violent man. He was known for his nonviolence. He was not, people wanted him to rebel and go against the Roman government, but he would not do that. That was not what he did. He said, what is the Roman is theirs. He didn't want to fight that. But this sword that he talked about was cutting through things we don't need, cutting through to the truth, to be clear on what is powerful. And this is the position of the spiritual warrior to be. To draw that, if there are things in your life, habits or distractions or judgments you do, you don't need to think about, well, I wonder why I do that all the time. Just cut the sword and no longer. It's not who you truly are. That's not my identity. To stand strong with what is. And also know that when you are in your heart center, when you've dropped into your body, into your heart center, that you are grounded and no one can knock you off. No matter what people say or do, you are solid on who you are and what you believe. You don't have to convince them of anything, but they don't have any power over you. And just thinking about what Laura was talking about today, if we stand strong, then we are in control of our lives. We know the truth. There was a phrase this week that was brought to class, and it said, stand your ground, it's sacred. I just love that phrase. Thank you. Because this ground is sacred that we stand on, because it's divine, because it's all divine. So we stand on it because we are clear on who we are. We're grounded in this truth. We're grounded in life and love and the oneness of all life. So we stand our ground because it's sacred. Brene Brown took it one step further. In her quote, she said, don't shrink, but don't puff up either, right? Don't think you're all that, because you're not all that. But Spirit in you is all that. And stand on your sacred ground. And this just, for me, this is such a power that no one can tell us that we can be self-reliant. Not self-reliant alone like a silo, self-reliant on the Spirit within us. So draw your sword and be clear. Declutter your mind. Know your oneness. Be grateful and stand in your truth. And pull out your sword and cut through does no longer serve you today and always. Let us go to prayer. We know the truth of the universe right here and right now, that there is only God. That's all there is. It is that simple. We make up a lot of other stuff, and we know we are connected to this oneness. And in this oneness, the Spirit moves in and through us, guides us, is us, empowers us. It is the strength within us to move beyond whatever we don't think we can. But we know through Spirit in us is moving and transforming us. And for this, we're grateful today and always. And so it is.
For my highest good I am worthy. Won't you sing that with me? For my highest good. For my highest good again. For my highest good I am worthy. I am worthy. One more time. For my highest good, for my highest good I am worthy. I am connected to this divine source of love that guides me through this world.
Thank you, Esther. This is a time in our service we invite you to be part of the law of circulation. If the ushers could come forward. There are many ways to give, and what we hear at the center that are up on the screen there. What I know is that what you give, whether it's time, talent, and treasure, you give from the heart, you receive in so many ways in your lives. So we appreciate you supporting the vision and mission and all the compassion and action we do here at this center. We know it is a gift we give to the world. We appreciate your gifts as well. So please take that which you've given either in the past, today, or will in the future, and put that symbology of it over your heart and repeat after me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is.
Won't you sing with me? We are one in harmony, singing in celebration. We are one in harmony, singing in love. We are one, singing in celebration. We are one, singing.
We know that all the contributions you give bless and multiply and really open our community up to be a giving center. Thank you. I did want to clarify, speaking of giving, I was looking at this form that Sean is asking you to participate in the Uganda project. So there is, you can just give one-time gifts, which pay for supplies and general education, or you can sponsor a child. And if you sponsor a child, it's an intention, not a requirement, not a promissory note, but an intention that you continue to do that on an annual basis. So just know there's a difference between the general contribution and the sponsor. And this is what Sean did, is he sponsored a child who grew up to be a man and went through university, and he had you can have an email relationship with them or texting through WhatsApp, so you can develop a friendship with them as well if that interests you. So we'd like to welcome people who are here for the first time. If you are here for the first time, you're willing to raise your hand. We have a gift for you. Thank you for being with us today, and thank you for those who are still pretty new to this community. Please know that I'm available if you want to ever meet about anything, and we're our practitioners, if they could come forward, are available for prayer after the service, and as well as prayer requests in the lobby or online. We want to know that we are here to serve you, that what we do here in these services is meant for you, and if there's anything we can do to serve you in any other way, please let us know. So these practitioners will be here for prayer after the service is over. We ask you, if you're here you want to get out there for that coffee, well, go ahead and get out there for that coffee so we could leave this place sacred for that. So we have a blessing for our new person now, as well as the whole congregation. Let's raise our hands and we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. We also extend a welcome to those online. If this happens to be your first time or continuing, we always appreciate having you here. Let's bring in our youth.
They're a little shy to share today, but you want to tell them what we did? Watch Bluey? No. Whoa. Remember we watched Bluey? And the dogs were trying to share their ice creams with each other? Yeah. Okay, and so I guess bottom line is they just wanted to say, I'll say it for them, ears to you.
Oh, that's great. All right, we raise our hands for the blessing. I really need some new battery. There we go. For our children, we say we love you, we care for you, and we're here for you. Let's all stand for the congregational affirmation. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I am led by Spirit. I'm guided by wisdom. I'm protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. And now our closing song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, family all are we. Walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And have a wonderful Sunday.